Let's go. Oh yeah. That's not really have any. I'll turn the light on when I pour. Space Miner here in New Mexico. Well, hello from Maryland. Silver Spur, what's going on? Not going to be on long. I just figured I'm going to do it. I never done anything at night. Might as well go live for a little while. Once I bring the flask out, I'll turn the light on so you can see the actual pour. And we'll see what it looks like. Somebody requested the revolver again, so I'm trying to make another one of those. Tell you what though, it's cold as hell out here. It's got to be like 35. Yeah, the other day I singed off a bit of my goatee. Oops. It wasn't bad, but it was kind of stupid. I had a face mask on, I had a visor on, but I didn't have my chin down enough. I had to post that video. Bellows, what's going on? Yeah. I was about to do a pour, I figured, you know what, I'll just go live again. Everybody's having a good night. When I turn the furnace off and I go to pour, I'll turn a little light on so you can see what I'm doing. This kind of reminds me of a campfire. Yep. Chin down. Rule number 78 of pouring. While looking into the furnace, keep your chin down. Don't forget to smash that like button if you're so inclined. I'd appreciate it. Double tap, it's free. Earlier I went live, there was a bunch of deer out here. well, not a bunch, 4, but sat and watched them for a little while. Some of you guys were here. Yeah, I got it up to about 3.5. Moisture out of that stuff, or it likes to stick. Yeah, Bellows, it's a lot faster. It's about 10 minutes from completely cold. Costa Rica, what's going on? No, I'm sand casting. It's actually, the flask with the sand is in the oven right now, warming up. 200 degrees for about 20 minutes. It usually does it good. That way I'm not pouring into something cold. I'll even take a torch over it down into the hole for a little bit before I pour it, just to make sure it's nice and warm in there. Because crazy things happen when you pour molten metal into something cold. We don't want to see what happens there. We are just about there. I kind of wish I had put that in the oven a little bit earlier. Heck of a lot brighter around here now when I first started. I use Delft clay. I just got some in actually. 4.4 pounds. I use Petrobond too, but Delft clay is just so much easier to work with. It doesn't stick to everything so bad. You get better detail with it, but it's really hard to press down into, so sometimes it's great, sometimes it kind of sucks, but ever since I switched to Delft clay, it's kind of all I use. Although I am going to do some bigger pieces where I kind of have to press it into the sand, so I will be doing some Petrobond stuff. I want to do some more of those Statue of Liberties, and I can't even attempt to get that thing halfway down into Delft clay. Go grab this mold. not matte gas, so it's not quite as hot. Way too much silver for this piece, but it should be all right. Perfect. Might have been cooler with the light off. Meant to grab that other piece and I totally forgot. Now that thing, that should work. I forgot to get the agua. I'm always forgetting something. Usually I try to clean all that off first, which I am going to do a little bit. Don't get those scratch marks if you do it in the water. Started doing that recently. Dude, I done melted it. I was wondering why it was so hard. It got melted a little bit. Dang, how the hell did that happen? Thought it was in there long enough. Oops. I did it to the last one too. Jackass. It's not even warm at all. What the hell? That looks pretty good. You guys see it? Not really. I'll go into the shed. Actually, let me clean this. You see this part? We got to get that off. That burnt sand. If I wait too long, it gets all hard to get off. See, that just pops out if it's still hot. If you let it get cold, it doesn't like to do that as easy. See, that's pretty minimal amount of burnt sand, so that's good. That worked out all right. Let's go in here. We get a little bit better light in here. Whoa. If anybody's still with me. If you weren't here earlier, we did some more of those half-ounce rounds, and then we did that in the cup, and then I poured another one of the praying hands, and then somebody in the comment section was asking about the revolver. They said they'd buy one if I made another one, so I figured might as well get that ready. I can't believe I melted that. I'm gonna have to go get another plastic brush. But it looks pretty good. It needs to be cleaned up a little bit more. That'll not look dark like that once I clean it up a little bit better. And that right there, it'll look all silver by the time I'm done cleaning it up. But the damn brush melted. And I had it in the water for a pretty good amount of time. I don't know how that happened. Wonder if I did that earlier and didn't realize. Oops. See, I used to use these with the wire, and it always leaves scratch marks all over it. And even though I clean it up afterwards, I still don't like that. So I was trying to avoid that. This looks good though, man. There's like hardly any flashing on this. There's very minimal cleanup on this one. I am proud of that. Trigger came out full. Yeah. I like it. That'd be a heavy one to leave this Sprew in there. So what's everybody doing tonight? Anybody getting into anything fun this weekend? Let me back up a little bit here. Sand is fun, yeah. How dare you lick it? Whoa. Serpent, what's going on? How you been? Hope all is well. That's a spicy meatball. Want to take a dare. You posting the dare video next week? Uh-oh. Zippy pew. Serpent says, what's up? Just same old, just trying to get some pours done. Yeah, I might try to fix it. It was pretty bad, though. I was like, dang. It wasn't all the way. I probably can cut it. It's not that bad. I'd already screwed this part up. Oh, you know what I think I did? That's what happened. Before I put it in the water, I was trying to get that big blob off, and it went too far down. That's what happened. I should have just stuck it straight in the water. Dumbass. Always doing something dumb. Thanks, Serpent. Cranky Stacker, what's up? Sweet piece. I appreciate that. I did another one of those praying hands earlier today, and then I did 3 of the half-ounce channel rounds so I could get to 10, because I only put 7 out last time. Space Miner, I don't know what you're saying there. $210, what's up? Appreciate you stopping back in. Oh, man. So shall we cut the Sprew off and see what happens? Why don't we? Oh. Shut this door though. I got a little heater on. I don't know if you can hear it. It's not that warm, but it's better than nothing. Heard that song earlier and I was like stuck in my head. I probably should do it this way. What do you think? Just pop it like that? Pop it like it's hot. You can't even see. And it looks kind of fuzzy. I zoom in real close, it tends to get weird. Because the light is terrible. Shit, I am zoomed in all the way. Still getting used to this new phone. Yeah. So that ain't too bad. See, the thing is with this is it's kind of a little bit angle. I can go straight through and try to turn it a little bit, but this doesn't really do good with that. I should probably bring this down some, but this isn't going to take but a minute to get through it. I'm almost tempted to just try to hold it like this and hope everything works good. Good enough. That's going to be a decent amount of cleanup, but it's all right. Ain't too bad, I guess. See, that makes 3 pew-pews for the next auction. 2 that are new, and this one that I've done a couple times. I think this is a number 2. I did a prototype and a number 1, and this is the number 2. Made some shot the other day. Ended up with about 16 ounces. A little over 16 ounces. I'm going to post that video soon. And we got that Sprew there. So, got a pretty good amount to keep some pours going here. Shout out to 3D Woodworks, by the way, for sending this to Auto Furnace. What a great guy. He blessed me, and I'm just gonna thank him every time I go live. I need to get one of his stickers and put on the bottom there. Maybe on the other side. So yeah, I was going to go. Oh, bust a cat. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta weigh them. I think for this one, I think I might have started this off at like 40 last time. I think it went for 40 because it is a sand cast. It's not quite an ounce, but the people that are doing this professionally, there's 2 people that told me I should be charging like $2 a gram. And I've never got, well, that's not true. I've got $2 a gram with a few things that you guys bid up on, but I never started anywhere even close to that. Cranky, that's what I'm trying to figure out. He says, hey Cap, does really cold weather affect silver pouring? To be honest, I've done it in the cold, I've done it in the heat, but when it's like really cold, like it is now, I don't really pour very often. So as long as, if you're doing sand casting, make sure that your sand is not cold, obviously. I put mine in the oven at 200 degrees for about 20 minutes just to have everything nice and warm. And then I'll take the torch and run a propane torch down into the hole a little bit. Not enough to burn it, but just enough to make sure everything's nice and warm. Because you just don't, whatever you're pouring into, you don't want it to be cold. As long as it's not cold, it really doesn't affect it. But it kind of affects me. I'm sitting out here freezing. It affects my thought process a little bit sometimes. That's probably the only thing I would say. You just got to take precautions and make sure you heat everything up. If I was going to pour into this, obviously I would heat that up with a torch regardless, even if it was the summertime. But so you just got to make sure you heat everything up a little bit better. It affects certain things in the summer when it's like really hot. And I'm in Maryland. I live pretty close to the Chesapeake Bay, and it's really humid around here in the summertime, like 95% humidity a lot of times. Sometimes it's 100% humidity, like it's crazy. And that's when you get those little blue spots, those little blue speckles. It's like kind of sparkly almost, because there's a lot of moisture in the air. So when the silver is solidifying, and it's got all that moisture in the air. It kind of pulls that moisture into the surface of the silver a little bit. And of course, that stuff cleans right off, but I've seen people put pours out with that still on it. Silver Oceans has done that a few times. And he's over there in the ocean too, so you know. Whenever you got a lot of humidity in the air, it definitely affects things. But yeah, those other two guns are pew-pews, boomsticks. What'd you call it? The Doug Harding. Thank you, Doug. That's awesome. I appreciate that. It still works. It does. I appreciate that, bud. Seven Stacks, what's up? What was I saying? That threw me off. It's gonna leave a mark. Hey, cat. Yeah, I forgot. I don't know. I was going somewhere and I totally forgot. Oh, let me heart that. Heart. Yeah, there we go. Like. You want a gift last night? Man, I ended up going to the store. I went into that live stream before it started, and then I had to run up to the store, and I ended up doing a bunch of like running around trying to find some stuff. And by the time I got back, it was late, and I totally missed it. But I was going to stop in for that. Oh, it was his first aluminum pour? That's awesome. What was that? His first aluminum pour. That was, dang, I'm trying to think of what it was. It was an actual, like, design, right? It wasn't just like a muffin, right? Because I know he's done some muffins, too. I've been saving up a pretty good amount of that. I've been saving all the tops from cans. And I've got almost a full milk jug. When you burn cans, first of all, you got to keep putting stuff in there. I don't have a crucible that's all that big for that. I got a bigger one, but it barely fits into the furnace. And so I really don't use it. To be honest, I've never used it because I didn't want to mess the furnace up trying to get it out. But yeah, I'm gonna get a bigger gas. If I get another Devil Forge, I'm gonna get the next size up. Or actually on TikTok, man, these people on TikTok have been selling them, and there's a big one, and it's only like 170 bucks. Actually, it might be like 160. And I think you can put an 8 in it. I think it does those 8-kilogram crucibles. And that would be good for that. But with the cans, you got to keep melting it and keep putting them in and keep melting it. And so I figured if I use the tops from the cans instead of, and then also all the paint that's on it, that turns into like nasty slag and everything. So you're going to have some dirty stuff on top you're going to have to get off. Aluminum kind of pours weird anyway, but. T-Bird, what's going on? Good to see you. We did a little nighttime pour in the dark. I did this, somebody was saying if I made another one, they would buy it. So I figured I might as well get that ready. I still got to figure out who that was, but that's a number 2. Earlier, I did another Praying Hands, which was number 6. And then 3 of the half-ounce rounds. So 8 through 10. 3D, what's going on, brother? I just gave you a shout out. I was talking about the furnace. Appreciate you, brother. And what a good friend, too. And I'll tell you, I want to talk about this a little bit because I feel like it's important we share these kind of stories. So when I came back from YouTube, I talked about how I quit drinking, right? I hadn't had a drink in like 2 months. Well, somewhere along the way, I kind of fell off a little bit, and I was having a couple beers here and there. I went to that wedding, I had a few beers, and the next weekend, and it's Friday, I can have a couple beers. I can drink here and there, and it's not like I get drunk or anything. When I start having a few beers here and there, I start to feel like if I'm gonna do something, I need a beer. And when I was going live, I was getting like a 24 ounce before I go live and drinking that, or I get a 6 pack during an auction, and it kind of started to become a habit again. So I just about a month before mid October, I was like, all right, I'm done for a while. Then we were cooking some crabs, and so I drank some beer because I cooked the crabs with beer too, and had a few beers that weekend. And since then, it's been 61 days. Today is day 61 that I haven't had a drink at all. And I tell you, man, it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle. And I was telling 3D Woodworks last night that him sending me this furnace really has kind of kept me wanting to stay on that road, because I was, telling him about that back then. And I felt so bad that I kind of went back, especially when I came back and told everybody what I was doing and how I'd been through all the grief that I was going through, and losing my career and losing both of my best friends and my grandfather, my grandmother, my stepdad, all within like a year and a half, and just was really having a hard time climbing out of that. And I was drinking a fifth of whiskey and an 18-pack every 2 days. And it was too much, man. And then I quit everything and came back and was trying to hold myself accountable by talking about the story. And then I fell off a little bit. And every time I do that, I feel terrible, because I talk about it. And then when I fall off, I'm like, man, trying to hold yourself accountable, but you're screwing up. And I get it. Like, it happens. It happens to the best of us, right? Everybody that tries to go sober, we fall off the wagon. It happens. But I'm trying really hard to just not put anything in my body that I shouldn't, I've had a lot of addictions in life. Smoking cigarettes. I'm smoking a cigarette now. This is like the last thing I have. And I'm thinking on New Year's I'm going to try to quit smoking. I don't buy cigarettes because they're way too expensive. I think it was like $12 or $13 last time I looked at how much cigarettes were. Actually, what I buy is pipe tobacco. And I buy the filters and I roll them myself. So I only smoke, 5, 6 a day. And I used to smoke a pack a day. But anyway, I just wanted to share that because, having good friends like 3D Woodworks cheer me on and wanting to bless me because I'm trying hard to be a better person. And, like I was telling him, I've really been trying to stay on that path, especially since he sent this to me. It's just, having a friend like that and wanting to do good is really helping me. So appreciate you. Yeah, tabs are, I think they are. I think the tops of cans, so I think the actual can is aluminum, but I think the top of the can is something else, if I'm not mistaken. And then the tabs are aluminum. And I was taking those green tabs from Monsters, but even that's got the paint on it. So I'm going to go through them because I kind of stopped saving those and started saving just the ones that were, metal. So I'm going to go through them, and then when I do a couple pours, I'm just going to do it with the tabs that are not colored. I mean, the paint burns off, but, it still adds a little bit of crud to it that you got to get off. Hey, I appreciate you lurking, 3D. Don't be getting no accidents. The whole can has a layer. Yeah, see, I knew it was something to it. I haven't really looked into it too much because I haven't really done it. I'll show you what I did do. I made these little, that's my first aluminum pours ever. And I had a muffin pan, and I was just pouring into the muffin pan, which actually works pretty good. So I got those as well. And then this thing is full. And then I got this, which just had little aluminum foil kind of stuff, which I don't even know if I'll use that. And then this thing. So there's a pretty good amount. But like I said, I'm going to go through and separate those green ones from the other ones. But I will be doing some aluminum. I got a couple copper pours that I've done recently. And you guys know I don't really do a whole lot of copper, so I'm trying to get more into that. And last time I used this stuff right here, which is kind of a different color. It was a copper alloy. And I was talking about that earlier, but I never showed anybody. This is, I bought this off of Amazon. Copper alloy for ROS, required for casting. And I was like, all right, it's just copper for casting, right? I didn't know what the hell I was doing. That was when I first started. But it ended up taking forever to melt, and it's a little bit lighter. It's not quite as red as normal copper. And you can see the difference in the pores. I think that one was the Confederate rider, the horse and rider I had. I was showing that earlier. Don't smoke from cans is the summary. It's been a long time since I've done anything like that, that's for sure. Like I said, I've been through all the things, man. I've done it all. Not proud of it, but it is what it is. I think it's important to share our stories, you know. I try to be an open book as much as I can. Cranky's going on 9 years. That's what I'm talking about. Never looked back. That's awesome, yeah. Drinking's hard because, you know, and cigarettes too, you know, there's a liquor store on, it seems like, every corner. It's just so easy to get a hold of. But I think for me, if I was like the type of person that was a drunk and I drank to like get messed up, it'd probably be a lot easier. For me, it's just I only drank because I wanted to loosen up a little bit. I'm so shy in life and kind of, you know, the quiet guy a lot of times. And when I have a couple beers, you know, I'm just a little more loose and having fun and not overthinking too much and just kind of having fun. But I need to learn how to do that. So I'm trying to put myself into uncomfortable situations without it. And all that's going to do is get me stronger. But it's tough at first, man. I tell you, even the past month, I've been definitely going through some different stages, for sure. And it wasn't even like I was drinking that much. It really was just kind of here and there. But I felt so terrible about it because I really was trying to be better. Yeah, Space Miner, I get pipe tobacco because it's a little bit cleaner. It's not quite as bad for you. It doesn't have, well, I don't want to say that. It's just, it doesn't have quite as many chemicals and stuff in it. So that's why I like the pipe tobacco. But instead of using a pipe, I just get the paper with the filter on it, and then you stick it in the little machine and then cock it by hand. It's just a little hand machine. But it's like $15 for a carton. And people are spending like $15 on a freaking pack. I'm like, there ain't no way. Seven stacks. I'm not a smoker, not a drinker, but the shiny addiction is real. Let me tell you. My addiction started in 2019 when it came to that. Although I've cut way back. I don't really purchase a whole lot anymore. As a matter of fact, I've been letting go of a lot of my stack. A lot of my deep stack, too. What's O's? When you say O's, I'm thinking the Orioles. I'm thinking baseball. Are we talking about ounces? Oh yeah, cat food's aluminum. That makes sense. We got a bunch of those cans too. Save your pie tins, yeah. Yeah, 3D. I tried to show up for that thing last night, man, but I went to the store and had to end up doing a bunch of running around. By the time I came back, it was done. You found a broken hoverboard. It was full of aluminum. Huh. Can't say I've ever even seen a hoverboard. Not a real one, anyway. They do make them where they're actual hoverboards now, right? Or is that a myth? I don't know. Thanks, T-Bird. I appreciate that. It's free to double tap. Space Miner, what do you sell at Spot? What are we talking about? All right, T-Bird. I'm glad I got to catch both your breaks today, though. That's pretty cool. Appreciate you stopping in. Yeah, Cranky Stacker. I have that kind of set up for bartering, I guess is what you're saying there, for SHTF. That's what I did too. But I didn't buy any big bags. I was buying those little bags that come with the papers. And I'm gonna have to quit smoking for a while before I buy any more. But I'm gonna start buying like the like I'm doing now, the way I roll them. But I'm not gonna buy a bunch of it until I know I haven't smoked for a month. But I do want to stock back up on that stuff. It's like liquor too. I like to stock up on liquor. Get some miniatures, although that tends to be a little bit more expensive. I tell you what, here's how bad I was back when I was going through all my stuff. When I lost my best friend and my career, and we were in COVID, and then my grandmother passed away. I was so bad that because we were in COVID, I bought 2 big gallons of Everclear, and I ended up drinking both of them. And I would just get a little bit of juice with Everclear, and I was just drinking it like that. And that was always when I would run out, and I didn't want to go to the stores. I didn't want to drink and drive, and then would end up switching over to that. It was definitely a problem back then. Osmium, okay. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Rhonda, what's going on? How are you doing? Spokane, what's going on? Spokane, this is the number 2. I just poured. It still needs to be cleaned up a little bit. But somebody was asking about this in a comment saying that they would get one, so I wanted to make sure I had that for the next auction. Which I was telling everybody tomorrow night I was going to be doing the auction. I just saw that Can switched his thing over to tomorrow night, so now I don't know really what to do. I kind of need to have an auction though. Rhonda, I'm sure you're probably going to be there, right? And I was going to do it last Friday, but I didn't last Friday. I switched it to this Friday because he was doing that for the Toys for Tots thing. And I didn't want to be on top of that, but now I don't know what to do. I can't keep, putting stuff off forever. I'm always going to be stepping on somebody, right? Earlier, Spokane, I did the praying hands. Did you ever get one of the praying hands? I think you did. I poured number 6 for that. Crystallized osmium, huh? Yeah, I don't know what that looks like. I've seen the silver. I've even seen the copper. Have you seen the crystallized copper? There's a dude on TikTok that's doing that. The mad scientist. It's pretty cool looking. I'd like to figure out how to do that at some point. And I found another guy over there where I can buy the pieces from, but I think he was charging like $2 a gram for that, if I'm not mistaken. But he had some really cool looking pieces. Rhonda, you're in the 70s and you want to be in the 90s, right? Because the 70s would be like really low oxygen, right? Or am I confused? Anyway, I hope you get better with that. Sorry that you're going through that. Yeah, I did the vacuum sealed too at one point. I had one of those big pretzel cans, like a plastic can, and had it in that, and then shut it tight. Put like an oxygen absorber in it. I was thinking about putting an oxygen absorber in it, but I don't know if that'd be bad for. They'd probably dry it out really bad. So I don't know. I don't know exactly how I was going to do it. I just kind of threw it in there, and never really had a huge amount. But I wanted to have something because I'm telling you, the shit hits the fan, and there ain't no stores open. That's going to be probably the best thing for that, and then liquor and cigarettes, man. I'm telling you, a lot of people are going to be feeling a certain type of way, and they're going to want to just have a little bit of release. And if you got the release for them, canned food. I got a lot of freeze-dried food. I'm going to start posting videos. I keep talking about this and just haven't been able to get around to doing anything yet, but I've got a lot of preps that I want to make videos on. But yeah, those machines are pretty cool. Like I just got that it's a little red thing, plastic, and you just stick the filter on the end of it. You put the tobacco in it, stick the filter on the end of it, and then you cock it. I know there's electric ones you can get that kind of, I think it actually does everything. So I like the fact that I'm doing it by hand because it makes me not do it as much. So it kind of keeps me from smoking too much. Yeah, everybody say a prayer for Rhonda. We need her to be healthy. Even for a retired pro like me. Love the opening of the show. You talk about the furnace going in the dark. Yeah, I went live earlier for 2 hours from 2:30 to 4:30, and then I was about to pour this, and I was like, let me just go live again and see if anybody shows up. And you guys did, and I appreciate it. Yeah, you can see a little bit of black cranky in the in that. It looks like it's not perfect, but I got to clean it a little bit better, and it'll look pretty good. Once I take that little brush thing to it, you won't see all that. So it will look pretty good. Oh, I know, Rhonda. It's nothing I can't do myself anyway. I didn't really mean it like I need you there. I do appreciate when you're there because you make it so much easier, and I love you for it. Um, but I feel bad doing something the same time he's doing his thing when it's for charity. But I got bills I got to pay. I'm like really I already put it off a week, and now I'm kind of like, if I put it off another week, I'm really going to be cutting in Christmas this year. It's like, it's tough times. And I know a lot of people are dealing with that right now, so it might be tough anyway. Yeah, cranky. It's tough. It's always somebody's always live doing something. I try not to really think about it too much, but that's kind of why I picked Fridays because I really didn't know too many people that were doing anything on Fridays. Not that I really watched anyway, or that watched me. It's really, I don't know why I'm going to try to not step on somebody else that's having a live stream when they don't ever even know about my channel. That's kind of pointless. Messes with your vision. Well, I'm sorry. I'll definitely say a prayer for you tonight. Actually, I need to say a couple. Anyway, I think I only prayed twice today. Usually I do it in the shower. So I take a shower and I blast it on hot. I wash up and I go through my prayer thing and then I blast it on cold and I sit in as long as I can, which is usually like 3 to 5 minutes, if that. More recently, I haven't been doing it like the full 3 minutes. I just do it enough to where my body temperature kind of gets used to it, where I'm not shaking, it's not like freaking me out, and my breathing is okay. Although now when I do it, I don't lose my breath. I don't really start breathing heavy. It's almost like a meditation kind of thing that I go into as I do it. And that just kind of helps with anxiety and everything else in the day. It just kind of makes everything a little bit easier. And I started doing that a year and a half ago. And I have done it every single time I take a shower. Every day I do it. Now, I don't always take a shower every day. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I'm a dirty boy and I might skip a day. But so I don't do it. But I'm not just going to get in there just to have a cold shower. But try to do it every time. Well, I do it every time. But I try to, make sure I get in there every day. Sometimes on the weekends, man, I might not take a shower all weekend. I'm not going to lie. You get the truth when you're over here. I'm calling myself out for being dirty every now and again. Oh, 3D? Yeah, I didn't. I was there earlier before it started, and then I left to go to the store. And when I came back, it was over. So I wasn't like in the actual chat during the stream. I was only in it like beforehand. And I wasn't even subbed to him, so I did sub as well. Yeah, that's true, Cranky. That is true. Luckily, I'll always be packing. That still doesn't mean you won't get killed. Well, unalived, I guess I should say. Jeez. Yeah, I was going to go with 8 anyway, so at least that would be an hour, but it's going to 20 lots. I mean, that's going to take at least 2 or 3 hours, I'm sure. I did see that somebody had gifted, what was it? There was a pour of mine. Oh, one of those skulls. I did see that was in a lot last weekend. That was pretty cool. The pirate lot. All right, Cranky, I appreciate you hanging out. Tell you what, it is getting cold out here. I'm probably not going to be hanging out too much longer. No, Rhonda, you're fine. I don't want to pull you from that. That's for the kids. You do what you got to do. I have no problem typing stuff in it. This will be the 10th auction, actually 12th total, but with pours and all that, I can do it. And you never know, there might be somebody else that might want to pop in and help me out. But I definitely got the hang of it a little bit better than I used to. But I don't know, man. I didn't get as much stuff done as I wanted to, so part of me is kind of thinking about maybe I don't know about next weekend though. I was thinking maybe Saturday and going late. I know Tuli does her things on Saturday, and I didn't want to kind of step on her either. She always shows up for me. So, but I know that they do it earlier, and so I'm not sure what time that's over. But I don't know what's going on Sunday. I don't know. You guys will know. I'll post a video saying when it's going to be. But it would be nice to get a few more things done. It's been tough, man, getting stuff done. I've been, like, my frame of mind has been really hard staying on task. It seems like my ADD is, like, ramped up times 10 in the past couple months. It's really hard to concentrate on things, and I'll start doing one thing, and then all of a sudden I kind of get pulled over here and then pulled over there. At least when I'm live, I'm concentrating on what I'm doing. But then you're reading comments half the time. It always takes forever, but I don't know. Yeah, I know Spokane. I just always feel bad. I don't want to take away from anybody. I wish I had money to be able to get into some of these auctions, man. It's been tough. Past couple years have been tough for me. I feel like midday would be tough because people are at work, unless it's on the weekend. We were definitely a growing community. Yeah. I found a few people in the past couple days that I wasn't subscribed to. By the way, did you guys see my short when I was like talking about the pesky milk spotting? And I took my wire brush to it to clean the milk spots off. But I was about to put it in the furnace. I ended up telling everybody, I'm just messing with you. I'm about to throw this in the furnace. I just thought it'd be funny because somebody's puckered up like, oh my God, it was a 2-ounce too. It was a Queen's Beast 2-ounce that I got from Silver Oceans because it was that spot, and I was getting it to melt it because it was all milk spotted, and he probably would have had a hard time selling it because it was milk spotted. And I'm like, well, I just clean it off. And I mean, you probably don't have to clean milk spots off. I'm sure that'll burn right up. I mean, all a milk spot is dried up soap. It just, when they wash the coins off, they clean it with soap and everything. And when they wash it off, sometimes if the coins are stuck together or something, it doesn't really get in between them that great. I've seen, that's what they say anyway. So it's just soap that's dried on there. I posted that on TikTok, and somebody was like, well, won't the milk spots come back? I'm like, I don't think they're going to come back if I took a wire brush to it. That shouldn't happen. Not a wire brush. It's the other one. I can't never remember what they're called. It's kind of like this. These are for buffing. And I haven't really used these much. I bought like 50 of these. But like the ones in here like that. Those bad boys. I know somebody was cringing. Yeah, I hear you, Spokane. Yeah, I've definitely seen you on like during the middle of the day. 2014, people complaining. Shoot, I watched YouTube, but I didn't even have, like, I just watched it. I didn't have an account. And I made an account in 2019 with my name, and then I made this channel a year later. And there was a guy, does anybody know the guy that used to come on and he would always be singing some kind of song at the beginning? I can't remember who it is now. He doesn't do it anymore. I don't think he's made a video in a long time. But I remember watching him all the time. And some of the other people. I was like, man, I was going to make a YouTube channel. It was going to be like an outdoors kind of channel. Survival kind of channel. Hunting, fishing, prepping, all that stuff. That's what I originally had planned on. And I was already making videos. But then I decided I was going to go with this because I was really into stacking more than kind of anything at the time. And we were in the middle of COVID and all that. So like, wasn't a whole lot to do. Although I still could have went fishing and stuff. And actually, it probably would have been giving me something to do, to go out and get in the woods and show people how to make a fire. Show some of the camping gear. I bought a bunch of camping gear that I haven't even used yet. I got a bunch of hammocks for camping, and I haven't even used not a one yet, just to see what they're like. Okay, 3D. I'll let you know. I know you told me that before. I hate asking. Uh-oh, you got two devices. Start at 120. 420 Eastern. Who are you talking about, Spoke? All I want for Christmas is a new laptop. You know, I got an Apple computer, not laptop. She has one, and sometimes I'll use that. But, you know, my computer in the studio, I got it for making music and all that. And as soon as my McAfee, I think it is, when that kicked off, all this crazy stuff keeps popping up all the time, telling me that my computer is, you know, virused out or whatever. And then certain things don't like to work anymore. I had to spend like $70 on this. It's a key that you stick in the back of the computer. It's a USB. It's like a little stick, and that's your. It's called a Steinberg key, and that's for using a system, you know, on the computer. And after a year, I couldn't even use that. So now I just use GarageBand, and even GarageBand is like not doing downloads or something now. I don't know what the hell. I might need to have somebody come out and look at my computer. I don't really do much with it. I get on YouTube, and I get on GarageBand. And that's the only two things I use that for. I don't do any kind of web searching. I do all that stuff on my phone. Yeah, that's true too, Rhonda. I hear you on that. And that's all that used to watch my channel back in the day. It seems like there's a lot more younger people getting into stacking now, because I remember in 2020 and even 2021, I don't think there was anybody that watched my channel that was under 45. It was a very low percentage. And a lot more ladies getting into it now too. You're cracking up from the the milk spot. I don't know about you, but I hate these pesky milk spots. Let's clean them off. Just kidding. It's going into the furnace. I always clean the toning off. If I have something that I toned and I'm going to melt it down, I always take the brush to it and clean all the toning off. Just because I want it to look as clean as possible before I put it in the furnace. It's just kind of a thing that I've done since the beginning and just keep doing. Yeah, it's too late now, Spoke. That thing got melted. That's actually, there's probably some of that still in the sprue. Actually, no, some of it's probably in here, because I took a 5-ounce, a quarter. What was the first W that came out? The Lowell quarter. I had a 5-ounce, and I took it to the saw, to the bandsaw over there, and I cut it in half so I could stick it into the crucible, and then put the 2-ounce and a couple 1-ounce, a couple bars, 1-ounce bars in it. And it ended up being like 16.16 ounces, and made some shot with it. Yeah, Rhonda. What is it? What do you do to remove milk spots? Does it have to do with a bag? Oh shit. Maybe I'm thinking about toning. I do know how to. I was telling people about that at one point, of how to remove milk spots, and I cannot remember. I have no idea. I don't remember now. Man, my memory is bad. My memory is bad. It just keeps getting worse. Knack knack. Mellow stacks. Did I miss something? Did I miss somebody? Oh, is that? Are we talking about Space Miner? I'm confused. 25% of my life, I'm confused. Until 16 hours, the helping channels. Dang. Oh, Thule hours? Okay, is that what we were talking about earlier? Spokane? Oh. You did? I didn't see that. Oh, no, it wasn't mellow. If that's what you were saying. He hasn't been on in a couple years, too. I can't remember. And then he was doing something with one of those other bigger channels. I don't know. Yeah, I'm definitely behind on chat. Sorry, guys. I'm dyslexic, man. I don't read so well. Put in the oven at 20. Leave door cracked. I don't think I have anything else that's milk spotted. I think that was the only thing that I have that had any kind of milk spotting on it. That's not what I remember, though. There was something you could do, and I can't remember for the life of me now what it was. No, Space Miner, I'm just slow. Every time I look at a word, I look at the right side of the word first, and then I have to look at every single letter to kind of sound out what the word is. Like, my brain doesn't, and everything gets switched. So reading for me just takes a little bit extra time. But a lot of people that are dyslexic, they have like a very intuitive kind of personality. Like, I can read people really well. So at least I got that going for me. $36 megs of RAM. Yeah, I hear you, 3D. I hear that. You need a co-host. Yeah, at some point I want to try to. If anybody wants to go live at some point, let's do it, because I know I can do. I only go live on YouTube, but I would love to. Like, there's an option before you go live if you want to invite somebody to go live with you, and I've never tried it, but I'd like to do that at some point. If anybody wants to hang out and do some pouring or something one day, or even just kind of shooting the shit while I'm pouring or whatever. Maybe even going through some coins, maybe doing some coin roll hunting, something like that. I got some pennies I need to go through. I got some quarters that were my mother's, because she plays with quarters when she goes and plays poker, and she gave me a bunch of those so I can go through them. Rhonda has been telling me a lot of stuff. She doesn't like me going vertical either. But I like being able to make shorts from it, even though I haven't been doing that. I am definitely going to go through some stuff pretty soon. I got a bunch of videos I've recorded too that I just need to put into iMovie and edit it. And then I also have Filmora. I don't know if anybody's used that, but Filmora is a thing that I've been paying for a couple years, and I hardly ever use it. But you can make some pretty cool videos with that. Your East Coast and your West Coast? Yeah, StreamYards. I have OBS. I did set that up, but I can't make it go live for some reason. I did what people in the video said to do, but I'm just so bad with technology, and it really it gives me a lot of anxiety, even just thinking about doing it. I know I need to just do it. Man up, I get it. I get it. It'd be if I wish I knew somebody that lived around me that could come over and be like, here, this is how you do it, and show me that way. That's kind of really how I would learn. Spokane, you want to go live? We could do that at some point. It would be cool to like every so often have like a guest, and even if we just hang out and talk about life and stacking and collecting or whatever, pouring. I think that'd be cool. I'm definitely going to try to get into that. I was thinking about maybe reaching out to a few people and trying to do like a series where we just kind of have a guest and talk about stuff and get some questions to ask each other kind of thing. Yeah, you're on the West Coast. All right, Space Miner. Yeah, I'm about to get off here too. I have like a little tiny nugget of battery left. And I went live earlier for 2 hours, and I've been live for 72 minutes today. 73. That's pretty good for one battery. I was at 97% earlier, and I don't have much left, I'm sure. It's got to be getting close to 5%. You played Siri even for Red while he did pours? I wish Red still did pours. Rhonda, see, now Rhonda's just throwing it in my face. Now you're just being rude, Rhonda. I know. Oh, you know what I just saw? I got another one of those. I melted that earlier, and I got another 3-pack. So this one right here on the end. No, that's metal. This one. Sweet. I don't have to buy another one. Although I'm probably gonna try to cut that, like somebody was saying. I can't even get this damn thing out of here. Oh, come on. And we got a couple new ones for the other stuff. So what I do is I use the gold color one for copper, because I never mix anything. Crucibles, any kind of tools, even files, I never mix anything. And then this one, the silver one, I use for silver, just because it's easy to remember. But now I'm doing silver with this, with the plastic, because if you stick it in water, you don't get any marks. Whenever you use metal stuff, you always get a little bit of marks from it. And I found that if I dip it into the water and then use the plastic, it doesn't leave any mark. So I think that's what I'm gonna be doing from now on. And just, letting the water get dirty. I always wanted to clean everything off before I put it in the water, but what's the point? I really don't need to do that. I got you, Rhonda. All right, Spokane. I appreciate you stopping in. We got 12 people here, 17 likes. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Doug, for the super chat. That was awesome. Appreciate you. I don't know if you're still here, but I do appreciate that. It means a lot to me. Yeah, I mean, Rhonda, remember that one time I went for like 8 hours? I think you left and then came back later. I remember that. But yeah, I think it's about time to go try to find something to eat. My throat is hurting too, man. Last week, my throat hurt real bad. I tell you, I didn't go live last Thursday because I felt so dizzy. I don't know if anybody knows what it feels like to have like vertigo. I don't know if that's what it was because I've never had it before. But the way people kind of explain it, that's what it felt like. It was like, I don't want to say dizzy. I just kind of felt like I wasn't in my body. It was a very strange feeling. And it happened like an hour before I went to go live. And I just ended up sitting on the couch for a while. I mean, I felt so weird. It's very strange. Hey, Lee, how you doing? What caliber? I don't know. It's a revolver. It kind to be honest, it kind of looks like a 38 special to me. Because I have one that looks pretty close to that. But it could be like 357 too. I don't know. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably 38 special. But who knows? Guns can look a certain way, and they have all different calibers. That was a lurker. And hot bath for an hour to let the panel have it. Man, that sounds good. I'm about to go in there and take a real hot shower and then blast it on cold eventually. But man, my neck has been hurting so bad for the past couple of days. I don't know what happened. I'm pretty sure that gout is a thing that I've been dealing with for years. Either that or maybe, what's the thing from the ticks? I'm having a brain fart. I don't know. I think I got something going on. I thought it was from drinking, to be honest. And any kind of pain pills, that stuff, man, if I take anything like that, like I am hurting really bad afterwards. And so I just thought that, and then drinking, and then going through these phases of getting off of this stuff, I still haven't got any better. So I feel like this morning I had trigger finger pretty bad, where if I closed my hand and made a fist, like my trigger finger hurt. And then the inside of my elbow, for no reason. I didn't even work out yesterday. Lyme disease, I think that might be, oh, there you go. You said it. Yep. So I don't know. I should get some blood work done at some point. But yeah, that's what I do, man. I blast it. I blast it as hot as it can go and let it hit the back of my neck. And then when you do hot and then cold, that's actually good for your muscles too. It's tough to sit through it, but and it's funny because as hot as I can do it is not as hot as the ladies in my house do it. Both of them, man, they will crank it up. They'll come out the shower beet red. And I'm like, how can you have it that freaking hot? I do like maybe half of that, and I'm already feeling like I'm in a sauna. Heating pad, man, that sounds like an idea. You know that little bump on the back of your neck? You know how like if you're looking down too long, that little bump in between your shoulder blades kind of hurts? Like, or if anybody's ever had whiplash, like that's kind of what it feels like I got whiplash or something. And the only thing I did yesterday is I touched up the back of my hair with clippers, because I'm going to cut my hair probably soon, within the next couple of days, but the back, it was like growing down my neck and I can't stand that. So I touched up the back, no problem, never even felt it. And then all of a sudden, 2 hours later, I'm like, man, what the hell is wrong with me? Didn't do anything. You know, you've hit midlife when things just tend to hurt for no reason. I thought it had something to do with me abusing my body for so long, you know, but I don't know. Maybe it's something deeper. I'll figure it out at some point, I guess. But anyway, guys, this thing is probably going to turn off, and I don't want to just not say goodbye. So I want to let you guys know that I'll make a video letting you know what I decide to do, but I got to do something within this next week because I'm hurting. So if the latest it'll be is next Friday. But I might still kind of try to shoot with tomorrow. I don't know. Or maybe later on Saturday. I don't know. We'll figure it out one way or another. But I'll post something about it. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate that $2 super chat. That was awesome of you. Everybody else, I appreciate you being here. 3D Woodworks, thank you so much for everything you've done. Thank you to everybody, all of you that I talk to on a regular basis, you know. It's not a whole lot of you, but I do consider you guys friends. And, you know, I thank God every day for finding YouTube and starting this channel, because I've got lifelong friends from this channel. And having both of my best friends pass away, it's been tough. And so you guys have really helped me through some tough times. And so I just want to say thank you again. It really does mean a lot to me. But let me get off here because there's like a sliver of red left in my battery. So, love you guys, man. I really do.
stay tuned for the video. I'll show you guys what I'm doing and what I'll have, and got some other stuff that I've never even pulled out before. I got some really expensive stuff too, man. Like some like Morgan and Peace dollar set from 2021. I might let that go. I don't know if anybody's gonna want that because it's like $1,100, but you know I might end up selling that to the coin shop. But anyway, I do have some gold. So when I do come through, if you're looking to do that, make sure you hit the bell. If you haven't hit the bell, just smash that bell real quick. That way you know when I put a video out. And other than that, like I always say, I appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day. Much love and respect to each and every one of you. I really do appreciate the fact that you hang out with me when I go live. And it really does mean a lot. So thank you. Much love and respect to you all. I'll see you soon.